Hi teachers, homeschool moms, or even homeschool dads. This is LaWanda Shields again with 2 Cute Classrooms. And today we're going to talk about the things that cause negativity within a workplace. Earlier we talked about the things that cause dysfunction within a school district, within a school, within a community, or even for teachers within a classroom. And one of the top issues was negativity. So we were going to talk about very quickly the things that cause negativity. What causes your classroom to have a negative atmosphere? What causes your school or your community to have a negative atmosphere or a negative attitude towards things? Well, let's talk about that. First of all, the first thing is inconsistency. You have to be consistent with your staff, with your students, with your parents, with your community. You have to do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. You can't say one thing 1 minute and turn around and say something else the next. That's going to lead into the next issue. Another thing that causes negativity is not being trustworthy, not having that trust within your staff or within your students or your community, or within your school district. You have to get your people to trust you. And the only way they're going to trust you, again, that leads into being consistent. You have to be consistent. Next, micromanaging. If you are micromanaging your staff, if you are micromanaging your teachers, if you are micromanaging your pupils, students, then you're going to cause some negative feelings. So hypothetically speaking, so if I tell my students to do something, I give them some independent work, but I'm going to go over there and I'm going to hoover over them the whole time they're doing it. They're working in groups maybe. I'm just studying over there and I'm not saying don't monitor your students. I'm not saying don't monitor your staff. What I'm saying is if you give them some responsibility, you have to trust them enough to release them to do what you told them to do. Because if you're micromanaging, then you're causing feelings of resentment. Because kids know, people know, the community knows, the staff knows when you don't trust them. So they don't trust you because you don't trust them. So micromanaging is one of the causes of negativity within a company, within a school district, or just simply within a classroom. So let's try not to micromanage our employees or our students. Another thing is bullying. If there is bullying going on inside of your workplace, if there's bullying going on inside of your classroom, then no, the students are not going to trust you because maybe they told you about instances of bullying or whatever's going on and you didn't respond correctly. You didn't do anything about it, or you just brushed what they said off, or you just, I would hate to think you targeted the victim, but they're sad to say, but a lot of times the victims become targets for reporting the bullying, especially in workplaces. So if you're being nonchalant, or if you're not responding correctly to bullying that you discover is going on in that workplace, then yes, you're going to create an atmosphere of negativity. Your employees don't trust you anymore because they don't feel safe. They're working within a hostile work environment. Their trust has been broken. You've not been consistent, and you're allowing them to be bullied. You're allowing them to become victims. So that creates a sense of negativity within your workplace. Another thing that does that is an excessive workload. If your staff is being overworked, if you're giving them too much work to do, or if too much work is falling back on them because they're catching the slack from another employee, then they are going to have feelings of negativity. They're not going to be happy with that. So you as a supervisor, you as the boss, have to make sure you're not allowing one employee to pull the load, to pull the excessive amount of the load. If it's a large workload and it's not because someone's not pulling the load, maybe you need to consider hiring someone else, hiring another staff member. If, for instance, this is within a classroom, you as a teacher can control the amount of work you give your students. So you probably need to lessen or minimize the amount of work. If you're getting a lot of complaints, not just from the students, but from the parents in general, because the students have a lot of work, then you might want to stop and rethink what you're doing. You might want to stop and think about the amount of work you're sending home, because instead of those 10 problems or 20 that's asking them to do the same thing over and over again, you might want to cut it down to 10 or maybe 5 questions to ask them to do something like that. You know, try to condense it, do something, make it a little more concise. And so you can cut down the excessive amount of work that your students have been given. Okay, so these are the things that can lead to negativity within your class, within your school, within your school district, or just within your company in general. So if we can combat these things so we can have a better workplace. Again, thank you for listening to me. Be sure to tune into my channel. Be sure to click the like button, to give it the thumbs up, click the bell so you get notified. Do all those wonderful things that we like to tell you to do because we want the algorithm to love us. See you in the next video.